Hello, this is Mr. Case, and this is 20.1. We're going to talk today about Spain building an American empire. They finally head west, and our principal character we're going to talk about is Christopher Columbus. Now, Columbus is a good old Italian boy. In 1492, he's an Italian sailor who sails for Spain, and he's going to go westward in hopes of hitting India, only to find that he has landed on the island of San Salvador in 1492 in October. That's why October 12th we celebrate him finding the New World. Now he's going to make 3 more journeys, a total of 4 journeys altogether, and he never hits North America. He hits the Caribbean, including San Salvador, Cuba. He sails around the Isthmus of Panama, but he never hits North America, and he never really believes he hits India, or he believes he hits India, because he brings back with him dark-skinned folks, and he thinks that they're Indians. Well, he calls them Indians. But his journey is going to pave the way for other Spaniards. The first encounters here, 1492, you can put down, he hits San Salvador in October of 1492. And later on, you have other Spaniards who are going to come, and they're going to settle that land, and they're going to build colonies. A colony is a land that is controlled by another nation, and it becomes the source of raw materials, and then later on, finished goods are sold back to the natives. Other explorers, Spaniards, Fernando Magellan was a Spaniard who sails out of the port of Spain in 1519 with an ambitious journey. He's going to take 5 ships and 250 men. His journey is to circle the globe with these 250 men and 5 ships. Well, 3 years later, 18 men and 1 ship return to Spain, and one of them is not Magellan. Magellan dies halfway around the world in the Philippines as they refuel and take on fresh supplies. But they do what they're supposed to do. They circle the globe and prove that the earth is round. This is going to open the way for other explorers. Gentlemen like Hernando Cortez, who was a Spanish explorer, who is going to lead 600 men in conquering the Aztec Empire. His desire is for gold and silver, firearms, aid from other native groups, and disease destroy the Aztecs. Let me say that again. Firearms like gunpowder and cannons, aid from other native groups who hated the Aztecs, and disease, white folks' diseases like measles and smallpox and chickenpox, destroy the Aztec Empire. These explorers, Spanish explorers, are called conquistadors, Spanish explorers, and their motto is gold, glory, and gospel. Gold, they want to get paid. Glory for themselves, glory for Spain, glory for their king, and then gospel, to spread the good news of the gospel of Christ to these heathen nations. Cortez conquers the Aztecs, and the last emperor to meet the Spaniards is Montezuma II. He is the last Aztec emperor before the empire is destroyed. He mistakenly believes that the Spaniards are gods, and before they realize that the Spaniards are not gods, it's too late. The empire falls. Now, farther south, Francisco Pizarro in 1532 is a Spanish explorer, just like Cortez is, and he conquers the Inca Empire, I-N-C-A. He conquers the Inca Empire. He and his Spaniards come into Cusco, the capital of the Inca Empire, at the worst possible time for the Incas. There's a civil war there. And the last ruler for the Incas, Atahualpa, A-T-A-H-U-A-L-P-A, Atahualpa, the last Inca ruler, is killed by the Spaniards after a ransom is paid for his release. We're going to look now at how Spain settles the land. Their pattern of conquest included laws that were very defined in how towns would be built and the social structure. As the Spanish come and settle down and intermarry with the Indians, you have a group of new people called the mestizos. It's a mixed Spanish and Indian race. Encomiendas were, it was the right to tax natives on the land and any European living on the land. Now, since the natives didn't have money, they paid their tax for living on the land in the form of mining, ranching, and farming. The Indians paid with labor. The Spaniards paid the encomienda ruler with money. Now, lest you think that the Spanish are the only ones in the Americas, Brazil was claimed by Portugal, courtesy of the Treaty of Tordesillas, and they establish sugar plantations. They made a lot of money planting, tending, and harvesting these sugarcane plants and processing them into powdered sugar and sent back to the old world. Spain expands its influence. These conquistadors, or these explorers, are going to push northwards. The Spanish find a little gold, or not a lot of gold, I'll say. So the Spanish find not too much gold and silver in North America. So for a couple hundred years, the Spanish let everybody know, don't bother going up there for gold and silver. So what happens is this becomes an outpost for missions. The only Spaniards up there seem to be the priests, as they Christianize the Native Americans. All right, opposition to Spanish rule. Some priests spoke out over the harsh treatment that natives had experienced under Spanish rule. They were treated as slaves. An important pioneer in human rights is Bartolomé de las Casas. He was a former encomienda ruler who gave up his land and his slaves to become a priest. And he's a priest who fought for better treatment for the natives and later on the Africans. Natives aren't going to just stand there and be mistreated. In 1680, we have a Native American by the name of Pope. He was from the Pueblo tribe in the American Southwest. And he organized a well-run uprising against the Spanish. The rebellion involved about 17,000 warriors all over New Mexico, and they fought to drive the Spanish back down into Mexico. And it worked for about the next 12 years. Spain had stayed out of that area. After about 80 years, the Spanish come back in and they reestablish their rule over the Native Americans. So we see from Columbus all the way up to the conquistadors, Spain settles down and has a definite claim in the American Southwest.